award-winning 10 o'clock news on Channel 2, the #1 primetime newscast in the country.
Blood alcohol level is a major concern of law enforcement authorities this time of year, and they say that level doesn't necessarily have to be above the legal limit to turn you into a dangerous driver. Today, we found out exactly how true that is. She has our reports.
At Sears Point Raceway in Sonoma County today, it wasn't quite noon, and already there was a room full of drunks here.
This is my second glass, and I'm just about done, and I'm gone.
Misty Santos, a college student, is 22. Drivers in their 20s account for half of all alcohol-related accidents.
Okay, here we go. I did it.
But she didn't just do it for fun. Sears Point and the Highway Patrol recruited Misty and everyone else here to demonstrate the effects of alcohol on driving. Recruited everyone, including me.
Of course you want to do this. It's the holidays. Everybody else is drinking during the holidays. I think you got to join the party here.
Against my better judgment, I chugged 2 glasses of white wine on an empty stomach. It didn't take much to get the desired effect.
She is an 08. She is legally under the influence.
I'm drunk.
That's it. You're under arrest.
So you feel a buzz?
Yeah, I do.
Brian Forster, former child actor, now is a professional race car driver and drove today at .07, under the legal limit, but like all the rest of us, still impaired.
You're .058. Based on your reoccurring speech impediment now, I would probably take you to jail.
You trying to tell me I talk funny?
I think the consensus around here is that you're slurring your words pretty bad, and it's definitely due to the alcohol.
So under the watchful eyes of the CHP and with a Russell School race instructor by our side, we climbed behind the wheel and tried to negotiate the racetrack.
Can I go?
Go ahead. The sooner you get to the end, the sooner you can go to sleep.
Actually, Misty had to wait a while until she was under the legal limit to drive.
Oh, have mercy.
That's it. That's
Thank God there's no small children out playing.
You don't see all these orange children?
Misty didn't hit any cones, but she drove really slowly.
I've always wanted to come out to this race course, but not like this.
Unlike Misty, I drove fast, really fast. In fact, I was just a second slower than professional racer Brian Forster. I didn't hit any cones, but had this not been a test, I wouldn't have been driving. None of us should have.
I won the race.
Yeah, but you can't say it.
Highway Patrol officers say only time, not coffee, not exercise, not eating. Only time will lessen the effects of alcohol in your system.
Oh.
It was a very sobering experience. The lesson, if you plan to drink at all this holiday season, leave the driving to someone else. I slept all the way back to the station. In Sonoma County, Rita Williams for the 10 o'clock news.
Up next.
This is Fox 40 News at 10.
Don't try relieving your stress by taking a couple of drinks and then getting behind the wheel. The CHP will be looking for you. Tonight, authorities are operating a DUI checkpoint for the first time in Citrus Heights. Within the hour, the CHP started stopping motorists at Sunrise and Kingswood. That's north of Madison Avenue. Officers are making sure that those folks they're stopping are not driving while intoxicated. Now, earlier today, the CHP actually gave some people booze and let them drive. It's all to prove a point. Our Matt Robinson has the story.
What'd you blow on the breathalyzer, Lisa?
.075.
This driving test Lisa DeMarco is taking isn't so she can get a license. She already has it. But in the state she's in, if Lisa were actually on the road, she could possibly lose her license.
That's more like it.
DeMarco and these other folks are guinea pigs in a test at Sears Point Raceway, showing how alcohol affects drivers.
You make that reaction time slow down, so you travel even farther before you even realize something has happened, let alone reacting to it.
There you go. Let's mix.
Each driver drinks 2 glasses of wine, a similar amount you might have at dinner. Naturally, a person's body weight and whether he or she drinks regularly helps determine how much effect the booze will have. Cheers. DeMarco is already going into this, knowing her limitations.
It scares me too much, just because I know my sobriety level. I know that I'm 2 glasses of wine and I start getting a little bit tipsy.
These drivers are also lucky. This course is short and dry. Officers say a wet road could be much worse to the drunk driver and others around them.
Mix a little bit of holiday beverages on top of that, and that's going to be pretty dangerous out there. When it's time to react and control a skid or a slide, you know, you're probably going to overreact or not react at all.
After downing the wine, each driver takes a breathalyzer test. Of course, the readings are different for each person.
How many drinks have you had? 0.75.
DeMarco blew in at 0.75, right at the line of driving under the influence. Once behind the wheel, her previous prediction was correct. Her driving skills aren't too sharp, and her patience for being on the road is diminished.
And I also need to go to the restroom, so it's that urgency of driving from one place to another. I can see where that would make you want to go faster and get there quicker.
Very few drivers finish the course without taking out cones.
I'm a lousy driver, but, you know, I'm inebriated, so I'm glad I got a chance to come out here and show what I can do, which isn't much, but I've really enjoyed it.
Knocking over a cone may seem innocent, but each one could easily represent you or someone you know.
Now, what we showed you was a pure exaggeration of just how bad drunk driving can get. So before going to a party and having too many of these, then getting behind the wheel of a car, you might want to think twice, or you may end up in one of these. At Sears Point, Matt Robinson, Fox 40 News.
CHP officers tell us the majority of DUI arrests are men, but the number of arrests among women are on the rise.
Time 7:40. Our News Watch continues. Here's Dave.
You know, Cynthia, there is a great temptation to drive during the holiday season after having a couple of drinks, but police say you don't have to be drunk to be a bad driver, and you don't have to be legally drunk to get arrested either. The story now from KCBS reporter Mike Sugarman, who got a little tipsy for this story.
Relax, it's only the radio. But what if there was a CHP officer behind you? You just come from a party and maybe you only had a couple of drinks. You aren't drunk.
But as you touch your thumb to each finger, counting out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Maybe you'll pass a test or two.
Take a deep breath and blow.
But maybe you'll be close to the legal limit.
Oh, 0.06. Goodness.
0.08 is legally drunk, but you don't have to hit that limit to go to jail.
Well, it depends on what I see while you're driving down the highway. If you're weaving, if you're driving too fast, driving carelessly, I get you stopped, find out what's going on, and I see that you've been drinking, give you a few tests, and you fail those tests. The last one would be that breathalyzer, comes back to 0.06. Based on what I've seen, you may go to jail.
That's CHP Officer Wayne Z's, and here's why. Even at 0.06 at any level, you can do some damage behind the wheel. I found that out at Sears Point, the raceway, in a controlled experiment. 2 glasses of nice Sonoma wine, Chardonnay, in the controlled experiment. Then they put me in a car with driving instructor Shell Calmer.
Trying to get someplace in a little bit more of a... You're trying to get from here to wherever it is you need to go. Because you're in a rush, you've got to pick up some last-minute Christmas gifts, or you got a second party to go to. So the idea is to try to get through this course as quickly as you can.
Faster. I'm going faster. I'm gonna make that... Oh, man, that sounded bad. That sounded bad.
Got a couple of cones and then failed to come to a complete stop at the old stop sign there, Mike.
That might get me pulled over by a CHP.
If they were there, that's for sure.
Even below the legal limit, I was dizzy and tipsy, and that is the message.
It's dangerous anytime you put chemicals, whether it's medications, and that's why they put warnings on those labels, a couple of glasses of wine or any adult beverage, and try to hit the road, because there is some impairment that starts with the very first drink.
And the chances are you could go to jail, or worse. Their suggestion, he's a designated driver. Mike Sugarman, KCBS All News, 74.
Firefighter.